Hello everybody, I'm DerTebbers. Welcome to the Farming Simulator 2013 Season 5 award show. I just saw a man disappear over there. This is the end of the FS 2013 mods as a constant series. If I see something really awesome, I might throw one up. But all in all, we're taking a pause for the cause before 2015 starts. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. We are here in Hagenstead because it promises to be a stable map. So let's start by talking about the two maps we covered in this season. That would be the Canada map and the forest map. The Canada map is full of raw textures and causes problems with those giant silos. So, The forest map. Well, all the movement of all the trees causes severe frame rate problems for a lot of people. So, In the end, they're both serviceable maps. They're not super great, awesome maps. So there's the maps. Now, let's go ahead and jump into some categories of mods. Welcome to the Cultivator category. Funny, huh? Episode 24 was all about cultivators. We had a Potner Terradisc 5001K, an AKSH 7.2, and a BPTD 7. The Potner is MR, so it doesn't load unless you have the MR script. So we never actually got to test it, so it doesn't actually get an award of any sort. It's just, okay. The other two were broken. One of them couldn't be handled by even large tractors. The other one took my frame rate from 60 to 12 just by hooking up to it. So it was broken as well. So both of those get, I'm going to give them dishonorables because they actually physically load the game, but they're not any good. But still, it was the Cultivator category. Yeah? No? Okay. I'll go get a category with actual stuff in it. After you've seeded and fertilized and sprayed and watched your crop grow, it's time to harvest it, right? Of course. And so we have the Harvester category. It's actually 4 categories in one. We'll talk about that. But we have the Class 600. Yeah, Class Lexion 600. This is, whenever there's multiples, I've only bought one. And whenever there's heads, which is on most of these, I have not bought the head. But this is a Class Lexion 600. It is a nice looking little piece of toy. This is the John Deere T670. And the Forscrit E531TT. All three of these came out of episode 6. We have the big John Deere. This is a 9770 STS that came from episode 22. We have the AVR Puma. This is a category within a category. This guy harvests sugar beets. No, he doesn't. He harvests potatoes. Duh, get it right there. AVR Puma, this is episode 22 as well. We have the Bison Z56-7 off episode 28. We also have the Tribine. It came off of episode 28 as well. And we have the Homer Terrados. This was the sugar beet harvester. So that came out of episode 36. That's not all. We also have the Jaguar. The Class Jaguar 980 is a forager. So there's the next category as well. So there you go. A bunch of categories, but they all do the same thing. They harvest our plants, right? Right. First things first. The Forscrit E531TT was a prototype at the time. And I noted that in the actual episode. This was a prototype, still is, as far as I know, a prototype. Mod author was testing things out, wasn't quite done with it. So we are going to give it an award of NA. It does not get any award whatsoever. There's a few of these this particular season. So, there you go. That's not the only one. The Tribine. The Tribine was also a prototype. It's prototyped. It's not done either. It's got a ways to go. We're not going to give it an award of anything. It just gets an NA. Okay, so let me go ahead and get rid of those two really quick. All right, so we're back to just the ones that are in competition. Let's start with the easy ones. The AVR Puma. It is a potato harvester. I haven't done very many potato harvesters. It gets an award. It's a really nice piece of equipment. It's inexpensive when compared to the in-game one. It works really nicely. I used it in my Let's Play. It's got a lot of nice features to it. And I like it. And therefore, it gets an award. The Homer Terrados is our only sugar beet harvester. It gets an award. It works really nicely. I've kind of played with it some more than just on the mod spotlight. It works. I haven't found any super big problems with it. I like it. So there you go. An award for the Homer Terrados. An award for the AVR Puma and sugar beets and potatoes, respectively. Foragers, the Kloss Jaguar 980. I give it a mention. The reason I give it a mention is it doesn't really handle the worker very well. The hitch is finicky and only takes the small, super small thing on the back. The smaller trailers. I'll give it honorable. It still works. Honorable mention. It works. It's just not super stellar, awesome Neato sauce. So, honorable mention for the Kloss Jaguar 980. That leaves us with pure grain harvesters. Those are 3 new grain harvesters, and then there's this Bison. This Bison is insane. When you're in the Bison, when you have an arm, I hate arms. That does bother me. But, that's auto combine. There are, oh, there it is, 0. Really? 0. There we go. All these things, of course, they're all not in English, which is a problem for me, but all these things control different parts of the harvester, just like you would in real-ish life. So you're handling all the different components. It's very complicated. Took me forever to finally get it working the way I wanted it to. I don't like the fact your arm stays there. That's really kind of disturbing and disgusting. I'm going to give it an honorable mention. The biggest reason is that arm. But other than that, it's a really nice piece of equipment. I do really like it. It just takes a lot of effort to get used to. So it gets an honorable mention. Now we're left with these guys. These 3. I'm going to give a mention to the John Deere T670i. That's this guy right here. There's nothing super stellar about it. It comes in the same, it's in the same class basically as the Lexion 600, which really kind of blew it out of the water. So it's not super awesome neato, and so it gets a mention. If you like John Deere's, go for it. If you don't, don't. Between the Lexion 600 and the 970 STS, well, I'm going to give the award to the... I'm going to... see, this is what I hate, because the 600 is a really great medium-sized combine. Has animated features, works really beautifully, operates nicely. The 9770 STS is a massive combine. You can only use it on some areas. And it works well. So you're sort of like, Let me do this. My award for the jumbo combines goes to the 9770 STS. Make sure you get the latest one. This one, I still haven't updated it because I never really played in the super large maps. This one still has some silly physics behaviors, but the mod author fixed it. So that has been taken care of. When you get the proper one downloaded, that will fix that for you. And that's a decent large combine. Award for medium combine will go to the Lexion 600. I really liked it. It operated very nicely on my Let's Play as well. So it's a good all-around little combine. Medium combine. Yes. So there you go. Award for medium combines, Kloss 600. Award for large combines, the John Deere 770 STS. Mention for the T670. Award for the AVR Puma for potato harvesting. Honorable mention to the Bison for just being awesome. Just get rid of that arm. It'll improve things. The Homer... Here, the Homer Terrados gets an award for sugar beet harvesting, and that Jaguar gets an honorable mention for foraging. Here we go. All right, so that's harvesters. We'll be back with the next mod category. When you got cows, you got slurry. This category is about slurry. There's really two mods here. There's the pack of mods, the Agua Tenias, CTR, CTAL, and CCA mods. And there's the Hydrotrike. Now, in all fairness, these two trailers are the only two trailers that truly spread their manure. This one is a transporter. So you can transport this to a sell point. Yeah. You could also connect this one to these ones to create a daisy chain effect. So you can actually haul this to your site and then just fill these guys, which is a great plus. And then the Hydrotrike, which is an onboard slurry trike thing. It's cute. It's the best I got. The Agua Tenias trailers came off of episode 21, and the Hydrotrike came out of episode 41. We're going to give... It's going to be honorable mentions all the way around. And here's why. The slurry spray pattern of the ones that spray, the three that spray, which are the three on the left, are not as big as the one you can get in-game. Their prices are such that you just save up and get the one in-game and have the better spray pattern. Now, the advantage to the big tanker on the right, the 46,000 liter tanker, is that it will take it to a sell point. So if you do have the sell point, you'll need that one. So it gets a sell point award, if you want to call it that, but it's not an award. I'm just going to call this honorable mention. These are good. These are great. They don't really replace what's in-game, but they can perform an action that you can't do in-game. And that's good. So honorable mention to the Agua Tenias set, as well as the Cerceda Hydrotrike. We're back with our next, maybe less poopy mod category. Some days, you gotta haul your equipment. So this category is all about equipment transport, or transport that's not grain. Let's do that. Because one of these, you obviously see which one, is not really a roll-on, roll-off rig. But we have, from episode 2, the Tyflander that came with the MAN TGX. Quite the big piece of equipment. From episode 4, we had the heavy-duty wool trailer. From episode 11, we had the Chieftain Forestry. From episode 12, we had the Kogel Flatbed. Nice looking little flatbed. From episode 15, we had several of these. These are Great Dane trailers. There's actually 4 of them, I believe. I just grabbed one of them. We also had this Togya vehicle transport. It comes with both this version and one with a dolly affixed underneath here. So you can dolly it. And then in episode 35, we ended up with this. Doesn't that look familiar? Yeah. This was somebody who just painted this one orange and changed the name enough and then to put it back out there. And yeah, it was, well, let's just say in this case, I'm going to call this one pretty much theft. It's obvious. This came off of FSUK. This you find on game modding. So somebody just grabbed it, changed the color, and posted it. But whatevs, right? Whatevs. Yeah. So here's the whatevs. Dishonorable mention. Dishonorable. You are dishonorable. Go away. Bye. Okay. I'm done with that. Mention. I'm going to give a mention to the Kogel Flatbed. It's a really nice trailer in many, many respects. Of course, the downside is it has no ramps, which isn't necessarily bad in some situations. You can figure out ways to get stuff on and off of here. Obviously, cranes. You can crane stuff onto here. You can forklift stuff up onto here. But unless you are really, really equipped for it, this trailer isn't going to work for you. It's still a nice trailer. I still like it. But it's just a mention because it doesn't quite do everything we need it to do. The Chieftain Forestry, I'm going to give... So So I was going to give the Chieftain Forestry a mention, but it deserves more than that. And the reason it deserves more than that is it will work just fine to haul small equipment. It's definitely wheeled or tracked equipment, not so much loading cultivators that don't have wheels and tracks. That's more what you'll need this for. I'll give this thing an honorable mention. It's decent enough. Yeah, I'll give it an honorable mention. We're going to give the Great Dane an honorable mention as well. Some of you might be like, wait, this thing has no way to load equipment on. Well, you can technically get some short, some narrow equipment in here. And that's true. But it's also somebody who thought outside the box and built something that you see every day today in the United States. And you could fill this sucker with all kinds of goodies. Yeah. Definitely something that's worth checking out. So it gets an honorable mention. So does the Tonga vehicle transport. It's actually a really nice trailer. It works really well. Does its job. Can get most equipment up on here. Really cool. We do like it. I think it's worth checking out. We're going to give just a mention to this Tyflander. Why just a mention? Well, it can haul huge things. That is true. The problem is this dip is not quite big enough for stuff like the in-game potato harvester and sugar beet harvester, and it's really, at this point, it's, unless you have a huge vehicle, I don't think you need it. Let's be honest. I mean, sure, I could throw probably two large harvesters up on there and transport it, but getting it around anything other than a big map like Canada, big flat map, is going to be difficult. So I'm just going to mention it. If you have the need for it, you know where to find it. What does that mean? Well, that leaves this heavy-duty wool trailer. The heavy-duty wool trailer is going to get an award. An award. It has a really nice actioning to it. It works really well. Using it when I did the Let's Play, it worked. It performed the actions I wanted it to do just fine. And I like it. You can get equipment up here because it's got the flat. I just pressed B because it said B. Oh, there we go. Look at that. I can drop this while I'm standing here. You can transport the same equipment you can transport over there on the Kogel, but you can roll it on and off, or you can crane it on and off, whatever you need to do. I really like it, and I found it to be extremely useful. So there you go, an award for the heavy-duty wool trailer. Honorable mention for the Chieftain Forestry, the Great Dane, and the original FSUK Togia vehicle transport. A mention for the Tyflander and for the Kogel flatbed. A dishonorable mention for this orange abomination. All right, so that is equipment transport for you. We'll be back with our next mod category. When you have to go mow the grass, you might as well mow the grass big. This category is mowers, and there's one. We did exactly one mower in the entire season. It is this giant Case IH Mower TT 8100. This thing is insane, but it works. And it lets you load up huge amounts of grass in a very short amount of time. It lets you really cut down on your work. It is very expensive, but for the cost, you're getting a piece of equipment that's going to do exactly what you need it to do. Now, is it better than the mower in game? Yes, it is better than the mower in game because it collects its own clippings, but it's also huge. I mean, let's be straight honest. It is huge. Will not work on small maps very well, but something even like Hagenstadt, it's going to work just fine. I like it. I'm going to actually give it an award because it carries its own mowing clippings, and I like that. So I'll give it an award for the Case IH TT Mower TT 8100. Be back with another mod category.